Okay, good afternoon or good morning, I should say. We're here with the ladies from the Allen County Prosecutor's Office. So I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself, and tell me a little bit about what you do at the Prosecutor's Office. So we'll start with you, Lisa.
My name is Lisa Bradley, and I'm an assistant prosecutor in the Civil Division. The Civil Division, we by law represent all the county elected officials and the township trustees. So if they have any legal issues, they come to us. That can be anything from contract review. The commissioners sometimes need help writing the resolutions or making sure that it's okay with the code, anything of that nature. And I have been there since this past June, so I'm still relatively new. I'm still under a year there. So
Great.
And I'm Terri. I'm the Chief Assistant Prosecutor. I'm in the Adult Criminal Division. I started out in the Juvenile Division several years ago and have assisted in the Civil Division at times, but my main responsibilities are the prosecution of adult felonies, and I personally oversee all sex crimes that occur in Allen County, whether it's an adult victim or a child victim, and any child abuse cases that occur, crimes of child abuse that occur in the county.
Very good. So if a high school student is sitting in school and saying, oh my gosh, that sounds really interesting, what kind of skill sets would a person need to be able to do what both of you are doing?
Well, for us, we're lawyers, so you have to do 4 years of college and get your bachelor's degree in whatever field you want, and then you have to go to law school, and law school is 3 years, and then you have to pass the bar exam. It's a test that they have every summer and every February, and you have to pass that. Once you pass that, then you're admitted to practice law in the state of Ohio. For us, a lot of times we hire law students to clerk in our office, and that's kind of how we've recruited people for a while now, is through the interns that we have in our office. But to do what we do, you have to have a passion for the law, for helping people, and a willingness to do a public service, because the pay we get is not necessarily commensurate with other attorneys who are in private practice. We're government workers, so we get government pay, but the flip side of that is the reward that you get.
Absolutely. So what drew you, Lisa, to Lima, Allen County?
Well, I actually attended ONU for undergrad and law school, so I lived in Ada for 7 years, and I actually really enjoyed over here. I knew I wanted to stay in Ohio, and going to a small law school in Ada, a lot of attorneys around here are from ONU or graduated from ONU. So I think building connections, I actually got the job at the prosecutor's office because my boss was my professor for my trial class in law school. So going to a small school in a smaller community as opposed to going like Ohio State or one schools in Cleveland, you really build those connections a lot around this community, and that's why I decided to stay here.
Very good. And I know as far as skill sets, I'm not sure if I would be a very good attorney. What are some of the things that you need to know? Do you need to be able to tell a good story? Do you need to have focus on being able to remember? What kinds of things, if somebody is a freshman in high school and thinking, oh my gosh, that sounds like such a great job, what kind of skill sets would they need to focus on? We'll start with you, Lisa.
I think one thing that's really important is being able to look at an issue from multiple angles. You have to be prepared not only how you're going to attack a problem, but how another side might attack the issue too, so you can appropriately respond to that. So I think looking at issues and being able to see different sides and preparing that way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, interestingly enough, in high school, we had a job fair, and there were attorneys, and I thought, oh, that is not something I ever want to do. That sounds boring. All that writing, all that researching, that is not me. I found out differently. I went to law school, actually, to further a law enforcement career. I was looking to go into the FBI, and when I got into law school, I realized I loved those issues. I loved looking at things from all kind of sides and how you attack it and how the law works. And people make lawyer jokes all the time, but really the law is so intricate, but it's designed to work effectively and efficiently, believe it or not. And so there's all kinds of things that intersect with each other, and it's like solving a puzzle. And there's no answer for it. It's really about how you can argue it, how you approach it, and what the given facts are in any situation. So if you're good or have an interest in that type of stuff, that's really a good skill set. For instance, you have to take the LSAT to get into law school. and it's a test that would drive you nuts. Some of you probably have had problems like it. You know, they talk about if there's, you know, if A is sitting next to B and B is next to C, but sometimes C is next to A, where's everyone sitting? You know, it's that type of thinking that you're looking at, because the law is very broad, and you have to be able to go, okay, these are my certain facts here, and how does it work together, and how do I put all that together? And it's very intriguing. It's not all research and writing and sitting in an office, especially for what we do. We're out and about all the time, and we have to be people person. You know, for not regular lawyers, but for normal lawyers, you can do work that's not very person interactive. But for the prosecutor's office, we work with people on a daily basis, and a lot of times people aren't happy with us, and so you just have to roll with it. And so you got to have some thick skin. Yeah.
Lisa, you were going to add something to it?
Yeah, I think it was interesting that she said there's not always an answer, and I think that's very true, especially, you know, looking at from the civil side, though, like I do. A lot of times the code's not clear on an answer, so you just have to say, well, I have support that if I give you this answer, so we do have legal support for that, but there's not necessarily a clear-cut answer that is provided. So I think that's always kind of fun, too, to kind of, you know, get an answer out of something that not necessarily has an answer to it.
Absolutely. So as you have to go and get your undergraduate degree, did you do any internships or any co-oping before you actually graduated for your undergraduate?
Yes, I did a program that Ohio Northern does. I think other universities do it too. It's called the Washington Center, and they send students out to live in D.C. for a semester. I did it over the summer. I actually worked at a lobbying firm, so I didn't do like a legal internship, but it was something that I did a lot of research, writing, so I think it's still the same skill sets applied. So I did that the summer before my senior year.
Very good. And so a student in high school going on to college, what kind of undergraduate degree do they need to take, or does one work better than another?
Anything, really.
That's what's so beautiful about law school, is that there's no set, like I was a criminal justice major because that was where I was, but my husband's a lawyer. He was a history major. I met people who were engineers. They went to law school so they could be patent attorneys. People with liberal arts degrees. I mean, anything. I had people that went to law school because they didn't know what they wanted to do with their life, so they just went on to law school.
I don't know why you choose that.
They since figured out, and not everybody that goes to law school then becomes a lawyer. I mean, I went to law school because I wanted to join the FBI. I have a friend that was a very good lawyer, but he was a pharmaceutical sales rep for years, and now he actually does equipment. He goes into surgeries, but he applies the salesmanship that he learned in law school to that job, and now he does medical equipment, like so, you know, you're getting your hip replaced, and he goes in there and tells the surgeons how to put the titanium hip in, you know, that type of stuff. So you can it opens the door to a lot of different things, and you don't have to have a certain background to come into it.
You see a lot of the same majors. I mean, like the criminal justice. I was political science and history. You see business majors, English. But, I mean, I went to law school with biology majors, theater majors. I mean,
theater majors,
That's true, because you have to do a little bit of drama, I'm sure, in the courtroom sometimes.
Yes.
So in the next 5 to 10 years, what's the likelihood of job opportunities in our region as far as being an attorney?
Oh, well, in Lima, that's one thing. I think being so close to Ohio Northern's law school, it really is a farm community, so to speak. And so the majority of your lawyers in Lima have gone to ONU's law school. There are people, though, that are here that went to different law schools. So there's usually firms that are willing to bring people in, and you get opportunities as a law student to come what we call clerk for different attorneys. For me, I went to the Court of Appeals, which is located, it encompasses 17 counties in Ohio, but its seat is here. And that my husband's a local boy, and so that's kind of how we stayed in this area. But like with the prosecutor's office, as it grows and expands, and especially through our boss's leadership, we've hired a number of attorneys, secretaries, interns, things like that from law school over the years. Like Lisa just started in June. She came in with another secretary and with an investigator, because we have an investigator there as well.
Very good.
Yeah. So we have all kinds of people that work there. It takes a lot of us to do it. And
so what kind of advice would you give to a high school student maybe entering in your field, or maybe just in general, if they don't know exactly what they want to do when they graduate?
I think in regards to someone that maybe want to be a lawyer, you know, find a major that you enjoy, because, you know, law school is not necessarily going to be something you enjoy. So, you know, I really enjoyed history, so that's something I wanted to do. But not only that, but there's certain aspects of like history and political science that I felt would be helpful. So you have to write a lot of papers, do a lot of research and things like that. I thought would help prepare me for law school. I also did mock trial as something that helped me in law school. I think overall, in general, just find something that you enjoy, work hard, dedicate yourself to it. It sounds kind of generic advice, but really you just need to work hard and put your mind to it, and that's the best advice I think I could give.
Well, and don't waste your college years. You don't have to know what you want to be in life, but whatever you're doing, like she said, work hard. It does mean something. And even if, you know, you have a degree like the theater major that doesn't necessarily think that they're going to go into law, whatever you do, do it 100%, give it all you've got, and be committed to it. Look, I had fun in college too. I don't want to sound like I didn't, but I worked full time while I went to school full time because of the family life that I had. You know, I had to work, but I enjoyed it too. But I never took college for granted. I was the first person in my family to go to college, and so don't act flippant about it when you're in there. Take it seriously, buckle down, do the work you need to do, but also make sure you do have opportunities to breathe a little and still be, you know, you're only young once. So be young, just don't be stupid about it.
Yeah.
And again, and same thing in law school, because once you do that, now you're really transitioning into adulthood, and you could still have fun in law school, which I'm sure we did. But again, it's a serious training, and you need to take it seriously. Just don't take yourself seriously. You know, take what you're doing seriously. Be responsible about it, because whatever you do in life, you can have a positive impact on whoever you're around. But the only way you do that is if you're a positive example. And so you can have fun, but also be serious when it comes to your studies, because it's very important. If your parents are paying for your college, it's a fortune. No, or if you're taking out a student loan, like you probably, I know I did, you know, like you're going to pay that back one day. Don't waste that money.
Don't use
you
private school. It's not cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly
So,
right. Great advice.
Yeah.
Lisa, you are not originally from our area, so tell me what you as a young professional like about living, working, and playing in our Lima region.
I'm from Lisbon, Ohio originally, which is a small town. Most people don't know where it's at, so I usually have to say I'm from near Youngstown. So it's a small community. That's what I'm used to. That's part of what the appeal of ONU was to me, that Ada is a small community. And I think that's kind of how Lima is too. I mean, it's bigger than Ada and other places around here, but it's not Columbus, it's not Cleveland, it's not Cincinnati. It's not this overwhelming, you know, population that you never get to know anybody. You know, I don't know all all the lawyers personally here in Lima, but I at least know of them, and you see them around. You know, even though we are a bigger community than some of the other communities around here, you know, you still know everybody, you see everybody, and I think that's something I really enjoy too, is that we are a smaller community, so you really get a chance to meet other attorneys, meet other professionals, and that's something that I really enjoy.
Well, we are glad that you planted yourself in our area. Anything else that either of you would like to share with our high school students?
I would just say get involved. A lot of people, I think, and I was this way coming, you know, small town type thing about Lima has nothing, Allen County has nothing, I want out of here. There are really so many opportunities here for entertainment as well, but you have to get involved. You have to get out there, meeting people, and seeing, you know, civic groups, whatever it happens to be. They're very exciting people there, and they organize things, and they have events, and there is actually quite a lot to do in the Lima-Allen County area, but you can't just sit at home and expect them to come to you. You've got to get out there, be willing to put yourself out there, and you'll find all kinds of excitement here. I love living in Allen County, and again, really getting out there and meeting people. You realize it's not so small town. It's not so boring.
Very good. Well, we appreciate both of you coming in this morning, and thank you for all that you do at the prosecutor's office, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.